अरे वैभव, क्या बात है? कोई उलझन में हो क्या? क्या बताऊं रवि, सही समय पे जानकारी ना मिल पाने की वजह से इस बार भी मुझसे हमारी इंडस्ट्री का बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट एग्जीबिशन अटेंड करना मिस हो गया, जिसका सीधा असर हमारे बिजनेस पे पड़ता है। भाई डोंट वरी, क्योंकि अब आ गया है myexi.com, जिसमें रजिस्ट्रेशन कर आप अपनी कैटेगरी के देश भर में होने वाले एग्जीबिशन की जानकारी एडवांस में पा सकते हैं, वो भी सीधा एसएमएस और ईमेल से। हाँ वैभव, माई एक्सी अपने बिजनेस और करियर को ग्रो करने का एक बेहतरीन प्लेटफॉर्म है। पर क्या मैं रजिस्ट्रेशन फीस अफोर्ड कर पाऊंगा? मुझे तुम्हें बताते हुए बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि फिलहाल माई एक्सी में रजिस्ट्रेशन बिल्कुल फ्री है। आज ही रजिस्ट्रेशन कर लो ताकि कोई इम्पोर्टेंट एग्जीबिशन आगे से मिस ना हो। आप भी रजिस्टर कीजिए www.myexi.com.
A very good evening to one and all present in the webinar. The topic for this webinar is the new normal for food industry post-COVID. Normal is something we were used to do daily in our routine before COVID. And now, after a few months of lockdown, everything would not be the same what we used to do. There would be new challenges, new strategies to cope up with that, new way of thinking, new way of working, new rules and regulations for clients, suppliers, stakeholders, employees, employers, everyone. So here is the webinar for all of you to accept this new normal and to get success in your area of domain. Such an honor to have Dr. Hemant Koshia, FDCA Food and Drug Control Administration Commissioner, to be with us today to provide us the guidelines about the new normal for food industry post-COVID. And such a pleasure to have eminent veterans from food industry, Mr. Neeraj Agarwal, Mr. Nitesh Mathur, Mr. Vijay Gupta, Mr. Vikas Punjabi, and Mr. Shaival Desai. These esteemed panelists are with us to make us aware about what will be the new and how this new can be achieved so easily if the necessary steps are taken care with the positivity and right attitude. This webinar is organized by Arihant Pack Plast in association with myexi.com. Arihant Pack Plast is into manufacturing of plastic molded containers as well as the eco-friendly containers and cutleries. Mr. Binit Shah, my father, is the founder at Arihant Pack Plast. He has started this plastic packaging business since 1992 with the aim of providing one-stop solution for catering all plastic packaging needs to food industry. I am Zeel Shah, your host and host for today's webinar and partner at Arihant Pack Plast, majorly looking after sales and marketing. MyExi is an expert in Indian and international trade show exhibition information portal with vision to provide 360-degree information and elite services to all stakeholders of this business domain, starting from visitors, participants, and organizers to create strong end-to-end backbone in area of exhibitions and conference, locally and globally under one roof. Before we start the webinar, I would like to highlight few things. All participants except panelists are on mute mode. So in case, if you want to ask anything to a panelist, you may go to a Q&A box which will be shown there and ping us. The relevant question will be asked to the panelist after their speech. If you want to ask a specific question to a specific panelist, along with the question, you may write the name of a panelist in Q&A box. As we all are aware, food industry plays a very important role in Indian growth story. It's my pleasure to host this webinar, which is specifically for food industry. It contributes considerable portion of India's GDP and provides ample employment opportunities to skilled and unskilled workers. Further, in a country like India, where each state provides different flavors, the food industry is in such a shape that it can cater authentic food of different states with precision. We have also seen many initiatives to support the food industry by our government. So now, we have Dr. Hemant Koshia, FDCA Commissioner Gujarat, with us to enlighten us with his perspective about the new normal for food industry post-COVID. I would like to introduce Dr. H.G. Koshia. He is working as a commissioner at Food and Drugs Control Administration, Gujarat since January 2009. Notified as Commissioner of Food Safety of the Gujarat state from 5th August 2011 under FSSAI. He was selected as Joint Commissioner in 2001 through competitive selection process conducted by Gujarat Public Service Commission. He joined FDCA Gujarat as Drugs Inspector in 1986. Diverse experience of 33 years in regulatory affairs working in government and industry, leading a cross-functional team of 1,465 diverse regulatory experts to implement and enforce applicable regulation to regulate 4,697 drug manufacturers and 39,865 sales units in Gujarat. Amazing, sir. He is actively representing in many international and national and state level committees like Council of Experts of United States Pharmacopea, Drugs Technical Advisory Board, Central Advisory Committee, Drug Consultative Committee, etc. Dr. Koshia pursued his graduation and post-graduation in pharmaceutical sciences at LM College of Pharmacy, Ahmedabad, and PhD in pharmaceutical sciences from Saurashtra University, Gujarat. He holds diploma in business management from Rajendra Prasad Institute of Communication and Management, Mumbai. He played a vital role in the implementation of e-governance in the Food and Drug Control Administration, Gujarat. He has received many awards and recognitions from central government, state government, and various professional bodies for e-governance and good governance. So, sir, we are here to know your views for the new normal for food industry. It's all yours. Please enlighten us with your knowledge.
Thanks, Zeel, for a very elaborative introduction.
Pleasure.
To all the participants. Friends, as a FDCA, as a government, we must mostly look for the three things: the interest of the common man, the quality of the food moving in the market, and the genuine interest of the food business operator. So with these three basic principles, as a FDA commissioner, broadly we working and we enforcing this Food Safety Standard Act of 2006 and Food Safety and Standard Rules and Regulation of 2011 in the state of Gujarat. These are the central act. This act and rules take care of the safety of the food, whatever we are consuming, whatever we are producing, and whatever we are serving in the our jurisdiction of the state of Gujarat. Previously, we have a PF Act known as a Prevention of Food Addiction Act. It was addressing only addiction part. But right now, the act itself said very rightly, its name itself carry its food safety and standard. So two more major component, safety and the standards, are added to this new Food Safety Act. If you look to the, Neeraj rightly mentioned that food industry is very, very important and it's our backbone of the nation. And everybody knows without food we cannot survive. So from the beginning of the life to the end of the life, we need food either in a wholesome way or in another or a different way. And their safety and the quality is utmost concern for everybody, whether it is a producer, distributor, server, or a regulator, or a citizen itself. So it's a combined duty of all stakeholders. I, as a food safety commissioner, cannot make sure that everybody gets the safe food, but it's combined duty of the manufacturers, distributors, consumers, and the regulators, everybody. 99% our experience shows 99% industry are law-abided. They follow the law of the land. They maintain the quality standards and the norms. But yes, there are few, around 1% or less than 1% black sheeps. And that is why government has set up this department like Food Safety Authority in the state of Gujarat. Rightly, we are facing this global pandemic of this COVID. It was started in end of the December from Wuhan, China. And again, India is highly dependent on China for many key source material articles in pharmaceutical raw materials and many things. And it was detected in the December 2019, and that is why this coronavirus is novel. So, and COVID-19 name is given because coronavirus was there existing in place, but is a novel mutate form, and that's why it's known as a novel coronavirus 2019 and disease known as COVID-19. Friend, again, we are passing through the journey. Entire world is passing through the journey. We don't have a specific vaccine for that disease. We don't have any effective medicine for the disease. And every day, every moment, we are learning from our experience, and we try to protect and promote the public health in the best possible way. Because I look after the drug also, so it's FDA. So we try to make sure that citizens get the best, safe, available drug to survive their lives. We are always working together with the high-level committee headed by the Honorable Chief Minister, and we always give the inputs, whatever the best medicine available in the world, and we try to get next 24 hours within the state of Gujarat, and we try to introduce to the needy patient and try to save the life. The classic example is tocilizumab, the very expensive monoclonal antibody, which cost around 40,000 per injection. But yes, we brought it from Geneva, and it was available in all government hospitals. And young, especially young COVID patients who are supported by this medicine, and many lives government is saving by using this costly medicine also. Yes, Favipiravir, Gujarat is the manufacturers. Remdesivir, Gujarat is one of the WHO trial state. So government is trying from every aspect to protect the public health, save the COVID patient by administering the best possible treatment available globally and locally. And yes, this food industry has also a very, very vital role to play. Scientific evidence says that food never spread this coronavirus. It is already established, and there is no enough evidence that somebody says that it's foodborne disease. No, it is not foodborne disease. It is not waterborne disease, and it is not airborne disease. It's through contagiousness. It's through contact. It's through droplet while sneezing, while coughing, or while talking to very close one-to-one. So we have to take care. Generally, everybody knows by now that we have to wear mask. We have to wash our hand frequently with the soap, and we have to use the sanitizer, alcohol-based sanitizers, and we have to keep the social distancing. These are the general norms applicable to one and all, whether we are in food industry or we are not in the food industry. So these are the common norms, one has to follow it. But when it comes to the food industry, yes, Food Safety Standard Authority of India has given the guideline, and they have published that it's available on the website, what care to be taken by the food manufacturers, what care to be taken by the food handler, what care to be taken by the person who is serving the food, what care to be taken by the retailer and wholesaler of the food business, and what care to be taken care by the people working in that industry, whether it is a food industry or a restaurant or a hotel or a catering or a outdoor delivery or a one-to-one purchasing. So we have to take care and ensure that if you are a food business operator and manufacturers, a big manufacturer, so you have a number of employees are there, and government knows that this industry is a essential industry, is a lifeline industry, and even this during this lockdown, food business operators are allowed to run their show except few red and hotspot zones. So food is, as I mentioned, it's a very, very essential, and but as a responsible citizen and the responsible business person, we have to make sure that through our food or through our handling of the food or through our employee, it should not be spread within the factory or within the outside the factory, means in the society. So as a owner of the factory, you have to make sure that all of your employee, they are given the basic training about and basic knowledge about the COVID, its symptoms, its treatment protocol, how to take entry in the factory. They have to remove their own clothes. They have to put on the factory clothes. They have to remove their outside shoes, sanitation, hygiene, cleanliness. Even while working, you have to maintain the safe distance. If in a packing room you have a 20 staff, you have to make that all 20 should be with safe, adequate distance of at least minimum 3 to 4 feet away from each other. So these are the all. This is not rocket science. It's simple. It's common sense, and anybody and everybody can understand it. Even while handling the food, one should not touch the ready-made food with the bare hands. So the personal hygiene is most important. So they have to put on the gloves so there is a direct touch and contact with the ready to serve or ready to eat food. So everything one has to take care and supervise. Even the your staff is having some symptoms of COVID, like some fever or breathlessness or cold, immediately he has to isolate it. He has to ask to remain at home. If it is asymptomatic, then he can stay at home for 14 days. If you have any symptom, you can inform the nearest healthcare center and take the advice of the doctor, and accordingly you start the treatment. So detection, prevention, these are all very, very important in every aspect. Even you are delivering a food to the customer, while also you make sure that all your delivery boys are well trained for personal hygiene, sanitation, this mask, social distancing. Even government has already mentioned in Ahmedabad that it should be cashless transaction. Yes, currency notes many times are there because it's contagious. One hand to another hand it goes and it spreads the virus, and the virus remain on the surface of any paper or cardboard for almost 4 to 5 hours. So for the safety purpose, we have to avoid this cash transaction as far as possible. Even if you use this card, every time you have to clean it with sanitizer and make sure that nobody can infect it, no one can spread it. Even in your factory, you should avoid right now, temporary during this COVID period, this thermoimpression presence, you should have some other alternative. So again, one-to-one contact you can avoid. So these are the small things one has to take care to avoid and prevent the personal one-to-one contact with each other. And we can also, very, very important partner with the government to prevent the spread of this COVID-19. So these are the general guideline. I think by now, because every day we are listening on TV media by one or other officer or health officers, debates, and everybody's master. But the thing is, if I know everything, but I don't implement it, it's no win of it. So knowing and implementing is the most important. So I must compliment Zeel and Arihant Plastic for organizing such kind of a important workshop at right time and inviting the eminent speakers from the industry and spreading the awareness about the how you can handle the safe safety food, safe food, and all food articles. I think it will give the more confidence in the society, in the people. And again, I'm repeating this, that there is no scientific evidence that food is spreading COVID-19. Again, we have also a lot of applications, and there was a hue and cry from the industry that at local level, in the taluka level or gram panchayat level, their sarpanch, their talatis, they are destroying ice cream and cold drinks and frozen foods because it's an epidemic act. Everybody is using their own power and doing a lot of not good thing. It's a national wastage and it is not scientific also. So recently we have given the advisory to all the district collectors and the commissioners that there is also no evidence that COVID is spread through using these cold drinks, ice cream, and even frozen foods. So whenever, because it's a science-based regulation, food safety and standard act is a science-based regulation, we do the implementation and enforcement through proven science, and there is no adequate evidence that food is spreading the COVID, that cold drinks is spreading the COVID, and when it is legally produced and legally supplied and legally available in the market, so nobody should destroy it unnecessarily. So that guideline already passed. We have given the big media, even in IC activity in the press and the print media and even the electronic media also. So this is how we are the custodian of the public health. We try to uh, promote the good industry and also try to protect the public health. This is the balanced way of doing work and making sure that sitting at the end of the day, safe food, hygienic food, healthy food, and food. Without food, nobody can survive. It's a life. So I think we have a eminent speaker from the food industry also, Mr. Agarwal. We have Mr. Gupta, and I think you can have more enlightened from them also. So this was all from the regular perspective. Again, India is a very good producer of the food grain, oilseeds, fruits, vegetable, milk, spices, condiments. Even government of India has also make sure that in the entire world, India is the only country. If this will continue, I hope and pray that it will stop, not continue. If everybody in the lockdown, because the farmers they're producing the food grain, even they stop producing food grain. We have a bumper stock with our food security department with our food godowns. Almost 1.5 years we can feed the 130 billion people of the nation. We are not dependent with anybody else. And we have a large food industry. They are processing that food and serving the entire population. With this note, I conclude my talk. Again, thank you, Zeel and her team for organizing such a wonderful webinar on a right occasion. Thank you very much.
Sir, 100% it is our pleasure to have you here in the webinar, as the important guidelines should be addressed to the people at right time, and you did it. You said yes, rightly to narrate people that how should be in further. So thank you for accepting the invitation so rapidly to make people aware about it, what government is planning. Thank you so much. And sir, can we take one question?
Yeah.
If time allows, yes, okay. So the question from audience: does food act as carrier of COVID? What precaution one should take? How much time it will survive on food? Few safety standards and hygiene for frozen food package. Sir, these are the questions. If you can please address.
Yes, so Food Safety Standard Authority of India has also gone through the lot of literature that this virus is not survive in a longer period at even room temperature on a food, and food is not carried at all. But we have to take care. We have to make that optimum temperature of that food while we are handling and preparing. If it is a frozen food, we have to maintain that temperature. If it is a hot food, we have to maintain plus 65 degree temperature. I think it is always safe to eat either very hot or at frozen level. Virus will not survive in the frozen condition and not survive in a very hot condition. So it's every virus, every bacteria, they are not survive at optimum low temperature and optimum high temperature. Even if you eat this raw food or fruits and vegetables, when you buy from the market and brought to your home, just take care of the outer bag, because many times it contaminates and it carries the virus in your home. So remove the outer bag outside, and whatever fruits and vegetables you are bringing in your home or kitchen, just thoroughly wash in a running water. And I think it's enough, and it's enough care of, and there is no scare of spreading the virus on this. So, but whenever possible, try to avoid to eat raw food during this pandemic condition. If you heat it, virus or bacteria get killed at high temperature.
Right. Again, a very important question, sir, which I think everyone thinks. When can we expect a restaurant to open with social distance?
Pardon?
When can we expect restaurants to open with social distancing?
Because yes, as I mentioned, industry is it's a backbone of the nation. Without food, nobody can survive. Without industry, I'd say very important industry like healthcare industry, food industry are equally important.
Okay.
Very shortly, once the condition, this pandemic condition under control, restaurant going to start very soon with social distancing norm. You have to cut out your number of the tables and the chair in your restaurant. And I think hope very soon it will start it.
Thank you. So positive. Thank you so much for letting us know about how government is planning to take this further. Your guidelines and your words means a lot, sir. Thank you for your valuable input. In spite of having prior commitments, you spared half an hour and provided your views on this unprecedented situation. As Mr. Koshia is having other scheduled meetings, sir will not be able to be there for the whole session. We really appreciate and would like to once again thank you for being with us. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, ma'am. If ma'am you have any question, I am replacing my colleague Deepika Chauhan. She is a deputy commissioner of the food industry, and
Okay.
I have shared. I think we have shared the link with her also, and she will address any query or question from the audience or from anybody.
Wow, great. Thank you. So she is with her for this whole webinar?
Yeah, she'll be there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for showing this concern for all of us. Thank you. Okay, now moving forward, we will have views from each of the panelists present here and their sector of expertise. Actually, as you all will agree, none of the panelists needs introduction, but would like to say few words from my side for all of them, as they are all an inspiration for me at least, and for all of here people are here present to listen all of you. So thank you for being here. It's time to know about the views from Mr. Neeraj Agarwal. Representing the company we have been watching since 8 decades as a brand. So many things have been changed, but the trust and the confidence in consumers' mind for Haldirams has been the same. Haldirams is always committed to serving the most authentic taste of India through their products. Pioneer Mr. Shiv Kishan Agrawal steered the business towards the high heights it has tasted today. And now his grandson, Mr. Neeraj Agrawal, and other Agrawal family members is taking Haldirams to new heights. Today we are here to know from Mr. Neeraj Agrawal that how Haldirams impacted due to COVID and what are his views for the new normal, specifically for sweets and namkeen chains and the other fast food restaurants. Let's hear from Mr. Neeraj Agrawal, Director at Haldirams Food International Private Limited. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Zeel, for the kind words. And thank you, everyone. And good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Today, we are all come here to discuss regarding the impact and the new era that will be there post lockdown. And I also wanted to share a few of my views regarding the same, regarding the food industry and how we can cope up with this pandemic situation. So COVID has impact on every sector for sure, including food sector and restaurant businesses. That we all can agree. But definitely, when we look into the food industry, the concern regarding people having for the food is a very big concern, because everyone thinks that consuming food from outside can be a reason for this situation. But as Dr. Hemant sir said that food is not a concern, and when we serve hot food or cold food like frozen food, then definitely the bacteria are not carry forwarded in this kind of food. So it is for all the attendees and for all the participants that we should be concerned about our health. But one thing is for sure, that the food is not the reason for the contamination, or it is not the reason for spreading of this virus. But knowing these facts, we also need to know how we can be sure that in future, when the lockdown is open and when we start going outside, and even though we are maintaining that social distance, but when we go to a restaurant or when we call food from outside, what are the concerns that a particular consumer should have, and what are the concerns that as a vendor or as a restaurant owner we should be concerned about, to make sure that there is that trust between our customers that are being carry forwarded, and that they are given that trust and they are given that assurance that we are taking every precaution in our hand to make sure that such a thing doesn't happen, and that we make sure that there are few things that can definitely help in changing the perception of our customers by putting the trust back into buying of packaged products and also dining in the restaurant. So foremost, the way we communicate with our customers and the way we inform them about the practices is going to be very important in making sure that we care for them, and it's our only priority right now is to give them that comfort that okay, we are there for you and we are doing all the right measures to make sure that you are safe. So I think few things that we can follow in future is that we can display the practices that we follow, like checking temperature of our every employee and making sure that they are having gloves and they are covering their mouth and they are having hygienic clothes every time they enter the premises, and that these practices are being followed on daily basis. So we can maybe share this data to our customers by say putting up posters and by showcasing them videos and by keeping that transparency between us and the consumers in terms of following these practices, which will definitely give them that trust of hygiene that has been followed and the new practice that has been adapted, and also how everyone is being following and being checked should be a primemost focus as well. Now another important step that could be is the digitalization that we can take up. This technology that is has been already available, but now we can make the most out of them by say ensuring that these technology are used so that there is not much of queuing happening, there is not much of customers gathering, and that we can make sure that people can get their food hassle free on their table just by few clicks. So I think that is one thing that we should look forward, and we should definitely gather that information, gather that technology, and make the most use out of them. And the last and foremost thing is that um, our our committee and everyone has given us guidelines that should be followed, and we should strictly abide them, and we should strictly follow them to make sure that everyone is safe and sound. And we should obviously keep calm and not panic even if we see drop in say sales, or if we see less footfall, because people are concerned over eating outside since all of this has happened, and everything will gradually come back to its shape. So our most important concern should be the beloved customers that we love so much, and we try to give them as much comfort as we can, and definitely things will get back into action, and we should always be calm and pray for the best. Thank you.
Your words were really motivational, because the first and the very important thing which I really appreciate is consumers' behavior. We should, think about their behavior, their trust. So building trust upon the customers back to the normal is very important thing. So you have addressed really well. I uh, it's like that's amazing to hear about your perspective towards the current situation. I can vouch for what you said, Neeraj. As your operations management, the way you treat suppliers is commendable. And because I can say that because we have been the supplier for Haldiram since '98. So thank you for all your words, Mr. Neeraj.
Thank you, Zeel, for having me.
Yes, yes. Now it's time. We will, Mr. Neeraj will take questions after the speech of every speaker.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, definitely.
Yes. Okay, done. So, Mr. Nitesh Mathur, now it's time to hear from a versatile personality who is from Havmor Ice Cream Private Limited. Mr. Nitesh Mathur is B.Tech in Dairy Technology and has undergone Management Development Program from IIMA and General Management Program for IRMA. Mr. Nitesh is a veteran in dairy operations, food and ice cream processing, and is having rich experience from operation to management for more than 2 decades. Havmor is one of the fastest growing ice cream brand in the country, known for innovations and services. He is responsible for operations and supply chain, focusing on improving operational efficiencies and new development. So, Mr. Mathur, आपकी guideline for supply chain management will be very helpful to everyone. Let us know how Havmor is planning to change its all basics start to end, from receiving the material to dispatching the same. Let's hear from VP Havmor Ice Cream. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Jill. Good evening to all. Thanks for inviting me. First, and I would like to start that I'm fortunate enough to be a part of a panel which is headed by Dr. Koshia, a versatile personality, and now by Deepika ji. FSSAI Gujarat FDA has always helped industry to a large extent. I'm thankful to FDA Gujarat. Nowadays, one common topic everywhere is about COVID-19. What is happening, what will happen, and nobody is clear. I'm a member in many discussion, and one thing is very common in all the discussion, that this COVID-19, this virus is not going to go away in near future. Nobody knows how long will it last. Government implemented lockdown fantastically. Many works were done at backend. And now a public at large also aware of how to handle the situation. Here, since COVID is not, this virus is not going to go away, we need to adjust ourselves. We need to live in this situation. We need to adjust ourselves. And especially big responsibility lies on we food business operators. And Dr. Koshia very rightly said that food doesn't transmit this COVID-19 virus. I'll further elaborate that this virus, there is no evidence which shows that this virus has capability to multiply in food like other bacteria. Other bacteria can multiply in food, but there is no such evidence which shows that this virus can multiply in food. So this is one slightly less negative thing amongst many negative things. Then how it, and we all know how it spreads. It spreads through human body, human contamination, or by some surfaces. I mean, if those surfaces are contaminated. Now, there are many data available, even on FSSAI websites also, which shows the retention time of virus on different surfaces. Like on aluminium, this virus can stay for almost 4 hours. On copper, from 2 to 8 hours. On this corrugated boxes, which we use, I mean, to larger extent in food industry, there it can stay up to 24 hours. On wood, almost for 4 to 5 days it can stay. So all these data are available on FSSAI website. So what we need to do is, and already we started implementing in Havmor, is whatever material which comes in our factory, all the trucks, we first sanitize them, and after unloading the material, we keep the material in quarantine for this particular time, which is, I mean, by which this all will become COVID free. Like for example, these corrugated boxes, I mean, we keep our inventories in such a fashion that we will use these corrugated boxes only after 24 hours. So by this way, we can avoid spread of this virus from surface if it is present on that. Now, regarding this contamination from human to human, we all know the social distancing, the temperature scanning of all the employees, and we are focusing more on hand washing. Whosoever comes in our plant, it is mandatory to wash the hands, because if the surface is not clean, then sanitizer may not be so effective. And one more thing what we have done in our plant is, I mean, on the floor, we have put up this buzzer, hooters. They buzzes after every half an hour with some light and sound. So the person working, they are cautious, and then they need to sanitize their hand at regular interval of time. One more thing which we have done in our plant is we have placed one partition between the two machines, so that the workers or the manpower working on the machine, it is difficult for them to contact person working on other machine. So it will further, stop the communication. And we are operating all our machine at less than 55-60%, so that overall, and the ultimate aim is to reduce the manpower. We have CCTV camera in our plant. So what we have done is CCTV is regularly monitored by one person, so that we make sure that all the SOPs which we have given to our employees, our workers, it is being followed. Even we have remote access of this CCTV camera. I mean, they can be observed from anywhere in the country. And this is regarding food operation and all. One very important thing in the plant is about the food delivery vans and the drivers, because they go to different part of the country, city. So we have not only given them training once, but we are regularly training them at regular interval of time. We are constantly training them. We have given them proper mask and sanitation, and wherever they need to collect the cash, we have instructed them to collect, not to collect the physical cash. All the transactions are done digitally. And if I one more thing I'll recommend to all the viewers here, all the listeners here, FSSAI, they have published one very good guideline. It is available on FSSAI website also. It is very exhaustive, and one should go through it. We have, based on this guideline, we have trained entire our organization members. It goes into very detail. Even we need to have separate isolation room, which is called as COVID isolation room, in case somebody is infected. Even how to, this is so detailed that even it tells how to clean the toilets also. We need to have separate toilet for COVID infected persons and all. So it's my strong recommendation for all viewers to go through this FSSAI guidelines for COVID safety. Now these all are about the, these all views are about operations and all. Now if I think for the consumer, food industry, what we need to do is we need to develop one more additional packaging, which either secondary or tertiary packaging, in which we pack the food. When the packets goes to the consumer, the primary or tertiary packaging can be removed by the consumer, and the pack the consumer is holding is safe. And one more thing which has already started now, the in-house consumption is already started increasing, and in near future it will be on its peak. So it's a challenge for all of us to make our product suitable for in-house consumption. Not only product suitable, but how product can reach safely to consumers. This will be a big challenge for all of us. And one more word which is coming in common is about immunity. So though all foods will not improve the immunity, but whatever the food which can improve the immunity is a task for R&D team to develop which can improve the immunity of consumer at large. So just to sum up, we need to, we food business operators, we need to do each and everything for social distancing. We need to avoid touching the surfaces wherever possible. If not possible, then continuous sanitation is very, very important. I know the challenge is very big, but we have faced many challenges in past. As a community, we have overcome the challenges, but never so big. But I'm sure this will also pass on, and we will overcome this situation also. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Over to G.
Yes. Amazing sir. Sir, अभी तो guidelines आई है और आपने जैसे follow कर दिया है already. The way you are planning to follow, it's really commendable. आपकी जो guidelines थी उसमें सबसे बेहतर guidelines were CCTV monitoring continuously, then partition between two machines. Once the material is received, sanitization should be done, outer packaging for consumers. सर ये सारी गाइडलाइंस आई गेस जो भी अटेंडीज है उनको बहुत यूजफुल होगी. सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर शेयरिंग विथ अस दैट हाउ Havmor is planning for this, and it is commendable, sir. Amazing. Yes, so thank you. Now it's a time of a company जो अभी तो स्टार्टअप था और अभी हम वो कंपनी को जाने तो पता चले कि ये कंपनी कहाँ से कहाँ आ गई है. So this company is a restaurant management platform powering 15,000 plus restaurants across India and the UAE. Shaival Desai is a vice president of marketing and advanced project at Petpooja. An engineer and financial analyst by education, Mr. Shaival is responsible for cutting-edge endeavors at Petpooja. He leads the development of their hardware efforts, including a food service, which they will be launching in the near future. Petpooja, we all know today, is a product of 8 years of hard work, ingenious coding, integration efforts, keep domain knowledge, and an untiring support staff. Mr. Shaival, you being on panel, we would really like to know that how the technology is going to take place in near future. As Mr. Neeraj Agarwal rightly said, that digitalization is going to play an important role. How will it be in the near future for all, it be it restaurants, sweet chains, or ice cream companies, or any dairy? So let's have insights from Mr. Shaival to make your company a technology-driven company, which is the need of the hour.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zeel. Yeah, hi, I'm Shaival Desai from Petpooja. We power over 15,000 India and the UAE. I wanted to talk to everyone about the role of technology in a post-COVID world, right? So, as Neeraj has rightly pointed out, I think digitization is the way forward, and that will be a step to go back, a step towards the new normal, essentially, right? I want to, my talk is going to be divided into three parts. I will first go over the factors that are affecting restaurants and technology, how technology can alleviate it. Second, I will talk about the evolution of technology, the way it is shaped over the years. Lastly, I'll be talking about technologies that are on the rise and that we see on the horizon being adopted to combat this, right? The factors. So the first one is increased tech adoption by the masses. So today we are seeing middle-aged women take cooking classes and yoga classes on Zoom. People are regularly ordering off of big baskets, so it's becoming easier for them to order and pay online, browse online, right? So though it does not directly impact the food service industry, this is actually going to change people's psyche towards adoption of technology, right? The second one is an acute labor shortage. So we have seen that the migrant workers have gone back home. We do not know, they form the bulk of the staff of the food service industry. We do not know when and even if they will return. I'm sure they will in the future, but we really don't know when that will happen. The third is the fear mindset that has come into people. So social distancing is a need of the hour, right? And people are wary of meeting other people, especially strangers and people they don't know personally, right? And the fourth is the cost of technology has significantly reduced over the years, right? With the advent of open source and the proliferation of sensors, thanks to billions of mobile devices, technology today, even hardware has become cost competitive with human labor, human staffs. Now let's talk about evolution of technology. Where we were and where we are heading, such that we understand the directionality of this. So the phase one of technology was dumb databases. What I mean by dumb databases is POS system initially was a dumb database. You enter 5 orders, at the end of the day you get a consolidated reporting of what happened, right? Very basic things, essentially just giving you your own data in a essentially a pivoted way. The phase two of technology that we have seen, that we are Petpooja is, right, is connected software, right? So what that means is, with the advent of consumer internet technology, so the likes of Zomato, Swiggy's, Paytms, consumers wanted to use these apps, right? Now the problem was, how do these apps communicate with what the restaurateurs use, such that there is a bridge, right? So, for example, at Petpooja, whenever a customer orders off of Zomato or Swiggy, the order directly lands on the POS itself. Going a step further, I mean, it's a two-way communication. So, say you are a pizzeria and you've run out of cheese. Now, your inventory system will automatically ping Zomato and Swiggy and switch that item off, such that the customer does not place an order for an item which is not available, right? So this connected software formed the second phase of technology evolution. Now we are moving into a third phase, right? Which is smart software and smart hardware, right? So if I talk about evolution of technology, originally we started coding in zeros and ones, which was binary. So humans had to adapt to technology. But now technology has evolved to such a point wherein technology adapts to humans and the way we actually work in real life, right? So an example of this would be voice ordering, right? Voice is something which is very difficult for a computer to understand. But today, even at Petpooja, we've built a voice model wherein you can walk up to a counter and say, "Ek paneer butter masala dena." The computer will ask you, "Iske saath sir aap ek chhaash lenge?" And you can say yes or no, and the order will directly get printed into the kitchen, right? So this end-to-end technology value chain can be unlocked using this, right? Okay, so now going on to the third part of the talk, which was technologies that Petpooja that we are creating and others are creating around us. So the first one, which you have seen the maximum traction, is QR code based ordering, right? So either for a QSR, the QR code will be at the counter or at the entrance. For a dine-in, it will be at the table, right? A customer comes in, scans the QR code, browses the menu. He puts items in his cart. There's a recommendation engine which actually pitches items to him, increasing order value. He can complete the payment through a digital mode and get the invoice. So the entire end-to-end ordering part is taken care of digitally, right? This was actually going to get a huge push because the likes of Dine Out, Zomato, Google Pay, Paytm, all of them, each and every one of these companies, there are actually 8 or 9 others which are coming into the QR code ordering frame, right? So this is something that is going to become standardized across restaurants. This is also similar to what's happened in China, right? Because of WeChat and Alipay, I think this is a very similar direction in which we are headed. The second one is, like I said, voice ordering. So essentially, all these technologies will be reducing the requirement of human labor, right? So even if I talk about voice ordering, you walk up to a counter and just say, "Ek cutting chai dena," right? That's what you normally do. Now a technology has to capture that data, and a KOT for cutting chai has to get printed in the kitchen, right? So this is something that we will see on the rise. Petpooja has been working on this for quite a while, and we have gotten very sophisticated models now which can do this. Um, the third one is food robots. So robotic chefs are coming into the fray, right? Now whatever when I say a robot, people, a lot of time people imagine a humanoid. Now that doesn't necessarily have to be that. It's essentially an arm with a ladle that moves things in a pot, right? That's how you make rice. So the cost of these things have reduced to such an extent that now this is not just possible, it's actually the industry is adopting it, right? So if I talk about food robots, there's a company called Mukunda Foods, right? They were originally known for making the dosa matic. Then they had come up with a roti making machine. Now they're actually working with very large brands like Beirut and Ola Cafe's experimental khichdi. These brands are now, so if you order a biryani from Beirut today, there's a 20% of their outlets have this machine, right? And this is actually going to proliferate in the future, wherein they are expecting that 100% of their biryanis will be made by these machines. And the same thing goes for Ola as well. The fourth one is service robots, right? So Petpooja again has been working on this for north of 2 years now. The problem today is, like I said, an acute human shortage and a willingness and a want to not interact with humans, right? So the ordering part can be taken care of by the QR code, right? But what about service? Essentially, today technology has gotten to a point wherein a mobility, so going from the kitchen to the table, going to the counter, making a robot do that is not a very challenging or extremely expensive task. So what the service robot will do is, once you place an order, the QOT will be generated in the kitchen. Once the food is ready, the food will be placed on the robot. It will bring the food to the table. Once you're done with the food, the robot will actually take the soiled plates back. And you can call for the bill. The bill will get, if you want a physical bill, that is, the bill will get printed at the counter. You place it on the robot again, and it can be delivered to your table. So essentially, all the mechanical, repetitive tasks of waiters will get slowly replaced. Not to say that there isn't a need for humans in this industry, because this industry is an experiential industry, right? But if you free up humans to do the conversations, to make connections with the people, that is where overall, especially post-COVID, this will, once things get normal, that's where it'll head. So yes, robots are extremely, I think, going to proliferate and start taking over the mechanical repetitive tasks. And the last one is automatic screening, right? So thermal cameras will be there at the entrances of the restaurants, which will look for higher than average temperatures, carry out screening before a person enters. Similarly, cameras in the kitchen will also be doing the same thing, screening the staff for any signs of infection. So I think these are overall, so QR code based ordering, voice ordering, service robots, food robots, right? So I think these are the five main technologies that we are seeing on the rise. These technologies were always coming. They were going to come 3 years down the line. What COVID has done is actually accelerated the time frame to 6 months. And yeah, so I really believe technology is now going to play an even larger part. See, there's going to be pain. There is no doubt that there's going to be pain. But technology can help alleviate a certain part of it. So yeah, I think that's where this is headed. Thank you. Over to you, Zeel.
Yes, Mr. Shaival. I think by sharing this, you have taken us to the world of technology, which opens a door of opportunities for all of us. So yes, your speech, which includes voice ordering, QR-based ordering, food robots, service robots, automatic screening. This is something which is very important to survive and to succeed in the current scenario. So now new normal will very much be dependent on technology to avoid physical interference majorly. Everyone present here should give a thought about the technology-driven management and operations. Thank you so much, Mr. Shaival, for all your insights to introduce technology to make the work easier and smarter. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zeel, for having me.
Yes. Now to whom I'm arriving does not need much introduction. It's like honest ka to sirf naam hi kafi hai. Yes, you all will agree with this, that whether you enter a takeaway honest restaurant or an air conditioned one, you can be assured that the flagship products will taste just the same. It's guaranteed, honestly. Wow. Vijay bhai, it is so great to have the fourth generation in the business with the same dedication and passion. The Honest Group of restaurants started in 1975 and gradually now they have reached to the heart of consumers. Vijay, from you as a founder, we would really like to know that how challenging it would be to accept this sudden change post-COVID. विजय जी, मुझे विश्वास है कि आपका एक्सपीरियंस और जो आपकी सूझबूझ है वो हम सबको एक नई राह दिखाएगी. सो विजय जी, प्लीज हमें एनलाइटन कीजिए कि आप कैसे देख रहे हो ये चेंज को एक्सेप्ट कैसे करें एंड व्हाट कैन बी द एटीट्यूड फॉर द कंज्यूमर्स फॉर दिस.
बेसिकली ऑनेस्ट जो है इसकी जो शुरुआत है वो मास क्लास से, स्ट्रीट से शुरू हुई थी. तो नेचुरली जो स्ट्रीट होती है तो वहाँ पे भीड़ भाड़ वगैरह रहती है और उसी सेगमेंट में हम मास क्लास में आगे बढ़ते ही जा रहे थे. और कोविड-19 इज अ रियलिटी, एक बदलाव है. तो हमने हमारी पूरी टीम से, हमारे कई कस्टमर ऐसे थे जो हमको वक्त आने पे अच्छी गाइडेंस देते थे. और तो एफडीए डिपार्टमेंट है, तो सभी से इस बारे में हमने पूछा तो सभी ने बोला कि भाई हमको बदलाव लाना है. तो बदलाव लाने के लिए हमको सोच बदलनी होगी, हमको बदलाव को स्वीकारना होगा. तो जो भी गाइडलाइन है कोविड-19 के बारे में रेस्टोरेंट के लिए वो हमको स्ट्रिक्टली फॉलो करना है. और बदलाव में हमको जो बदलाव में सपोर्ट मिलेगा वो टेक्नोलॉजी का मिलेगा, सैनिटाइजेशन का मिलेगा. तो इस तरह से हम ये कोविड-19 की जो परिस्थिति है उससे हम पार हो सकते हैं. अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारा जो बिजनेस है वो अनऑर्गेनाइज डेवलप हुआ है. जैसे स्ट्रीट में है, रेस्टोरेंट हो गया, ढाबा हो गया, हाईवे पे हो गया. तो इस तरह से पूरा अलग अलग फॉर्मेट में हमारा काम है. तो अब जरूरी हो जाएगा कि कंपलसरी हर जगह पे ट्रेनिंग जरूरी हो जाएगी, सैनिटाइजेशन जरूरी हो जाएगा. और जो सिस्टम है उसको पूरा स्ट्रिक्टली फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. बस, थैंक यू.
Sir, thank you so much. After your speech, I guess I really feel that सभी restaurants और companies के लिए आने वाले दिनों में सबसे dangerous line होगी, हमने हमेशा ऐसा ही किया है. We have always done this way. So people to the webinar, the way we have shifted from seminar to webinar, now it's time to accept the change and say, let's accept and implement the change. Thank you for your inspirational words and wisdom, Mr. Vijay Gupta. So now we have Mr. Vikas Punjabi with us. Mr. Vikas Punjabi has completed his Masters in Business Operation Management and PhD in Enterprise Resource Planning from University of Western Sydney, Australia. From childhood, he had unparalleled quest to be an entrepreneur. With this motive, and after completing his studies, he moved back to India in 2007 with family and introduced the concept of chocolate room. At that time, the concept of hot chocolate was alien to us, and people presumed that hot chocolate means Bonvita or drinking chocolate blended with milk. But going against all odds and listening to what your heart said, he launched the Chocolate Room in 2007 in Ahmedabad and launched an era to create a new chocolate culture in India. And as we all know, now the Chocolate Room managed to hit a chord with the customers. He started franchising operations pan-India, and in 12 years, he had set up 351 cafes across India and having presence in 9 countries. His goal is to have 500 plus stores of the Chocolate Room by end of 2022 across globe. As we all know, since the inception of cafes, people used cafes as the place where they used to hang out, spend time together, and gel up with each other. So ultimately, the cafes were the new way of socializing. So Mr. Punjabi, मुझे भी याद है कि जब मैं कॉलेज में थी, I was like कि अगर हमारा प्रेजेंटेशन है, कुछ प्रिपेयर करना है, तो हम कैफे पे जाएंगे, सोशलाइज करेंगे, and then we'll give it a thought कि क्या करना है अभी. So Mr. Punjabi, we all would really like to know from you that how the cafes will survive the new rules of social distancing instead of socializing, and what are your plans and views to follow it to maintain that brand value and perception of clients.
Thank
Over
you.
to you, sir. Yes.
Great introduction. And hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to hear you all around. And you have shared some very vital information. Mostly you've spoken about everything. So I wouldn't go into detail of all what you have spoken. I'll just give you a brief about what we'll be doing, what we are, and how we plan to go post this COVID. So that's what it is. Again, being in a cafe industry, it becomes a bit hard because, as Zeel told right now, cafe is a place where people go in to sit, talk, relax, chit chat, and spend their time after studies. Some corporates go there for working, for the meetings and all. Now that thing is going to change because of social distancing and all, till the point this COVID wipes out, or with some new rules of social distance and all. People would have to come up, sit away. So, that regular chit chatting will have to stop. So the Zoom thing is going to go on again and again. But when you talk about this, we'll have to move across and we'll have to live with this now for some time, as lots of people have told. Mr. Nitesh Mathur also told. This is not going to last for a smaller time. It's going to go on and on, as no one knows what's going to happen. So the plan is going to live with it. Plan your company, plan your strategy accordingly, and make sure that the way of survival is better than what we are, and how to, plan up your own procedures, protocols in such a way wherein the business doesn't get major hit. Our company's agenda, what we have done is, we have understood that this particular year, 2020, we wouldn't be thinking too much about opening up new stores, franchises. We used to be very aggressive by opening up around 35, 40 stores every year. Every year we have been doing that since last 7-8 years. But now I think so it is a time where we have taken a stop seeing this whole situation, and we plan to take it easily and plan a new model post-COVID era, how to take this forward. In this way, we'll be developing strategies of educating our staff, developing new models. These dine-in models will go away for some time. We would not recommend our new stores, our new franchises, our current stores to have too much of dine-in and all, because people will be hesitated to enter inside. So what we'll be looking for is moving towards digital, going towards an electronic medium way. It's adopting the Western culture. Luckily we have stores across the world, so we have been speaking to our franchises across the world. One of our franchises in United States, wherein we developed, they recently opened up the store 2 weeks before. They have developed a concept called the chocolate room on wheels. What that made us thought is this is the best idea to do to start off, because right now, rather than waiting for customers to walk into your restaurants, why not go to them? Why not tell them that we are hygienic, we are sanitizing ourselves, we are sterilizing ourselves, and we are coming to you within your apartments, your societies, your corporates, taking all the necessary permissions, delivering pre-orders, or standing there for customers to come up and walk in. So this is what they have started, and it gained a huge momentum. Seeing that in India, in Ahmedabad, we launched this particular model before a week, and it has been a big success. We have catered to major societies across Ahmedabad by taking permissions in the lockdown. So it is doing good, and we are like this, planning and implementing changes. As Mr. Shaival told, it's a age of electronic era. We are also on the same words, developing our QR codes and online menus, our whole e-commerce setup wherein the whole menu would be available online. We'll be launching in 2 weeks our own delivery boys also. Will be delivering ourselves rather than just being reliant on Zomatos and Swiggies, to pay up exorbitant commissions and all. So we'll be looking forward to cut off the cost, because right now it's a time to cut off cost, to count every penny, and to make sure that survival is there. So forget about profits in this year. It's going to be minimizing losses and managing everything smartly. That's our whole idea. That is what we intend to do in the coming days and plan up. And as everyone spoke about, maintaining hygiene, couple of good things what I liked amongst the panelists, and what I am telling you for sure, what Mr. Nitesh told, what I'm going to implement from tomorrow at our factory and all other places, is that every half an hour, our guys will be, an alarm will buzz, and will be making sure to have that they have their hands sanitized regularly. It's the best practice, because the more we sanitize, the more the whole environment will be safe, So lots of things have been learned in this panel discussion, but this is how we intend to do, going towards an e-commerce way, rather than focusing too much of dining, maintaining social distancing, and going on this wheels concept by developing new stores, converting some existing stores, because we as a chocolate room have our stores divided. We have 350 stores in India. So, we have different models. Some are takeaway models, some are dine-in models, some are lounges with liquor and all. So, those things are past now. People are not going to go in pubs. People are not going to go in dine-ins for a couple of months at all. So those models need to change. And yes, always, as said, pandemic comes, we have been, if you consider my age era, I have not been when riots were there, when World War was there. So we are a bit of a young generation. So what has happened is, we have seen this for the first time. Now to cut off this, to go past this is what we intend to do, to focus on the current strategies, spending marketing on marketing past COVID, to educate people, like lots of people told, on social media, letting people know, making them friendlier and comfortable that we are very safe, we are hygienic, and putting up all the posters outside on the stores that, yeah, we are maintaining stringent protective measures for all the customers, that once they enter inside, everything is available at a proper temperature. And as told by everyone, through food, virus can't be transmitted. So we're doing all those ways, whatever it is, to make sure that these models lead us to success. And always food has got ahead from everyone. It's a time wherein we know food industry has been hit badly, but we know once this goes on, everyone would be partying, everyone would be coming in. Yeah, we'll be doing a bit of a social distance and all, but it'll be back to normal. But these times, these 1 year or 1.5 years have to be managed very properly and very sensibly, to make sure that we sail through, and we sail through in a proper way. If you ask about us, to manage those 350 stores, and to make sure that too many stores don't close down and adopt to the new models. So it's an era which we are taking it in a very positive way, because we had been running and opening up stores, but now we have been given an indication by the God that slow up, take your time, plan up your strategy properly, and make sure that this new particular model also goes through in a proper way. So that's what I would like to, end up by suggesting. These all measures, rest all have been done by all. So it's a pleasure for me to be here, and thanks Zeel for getting me as one of the panelists. Thank you all.
Yes, Mr. Punjabi, it's great to have you actually here. So great to hear that it's all about precautions. And being negative in this difficult time is not going to solve the problem. The solutions towards it will 100% solve the problem. And this is what you have done, Mr. Vikas Punjabi. Such a great thought to make it 100% safe for the people coming to the cafe, and your plans are not at all for anything else but the safety first. And what you said about this, the chocolate room on wheel, is an amazing model. I mean, it is great to have that model here in India. So thank you so much to bring that to us. And having patience for 2020 is very important, what you said, and educating staff, moving towards digitalization. Model rechange is very important, and making the consumers friendly is very important. Thank you for all your insights, Mr. Vikas Punjabi. Now, it is going to be more interesting. The participants, this is something for you. It's not easy to implement the change what all panelists have discussed. पर आपका ये webinar में register होना ही दिखाता है that you are ready to accept the change and you are here to learn and to know and to implement. So big round of applause and appreciation from my side to one and all present here. Now it's going to be more interesting जब आपके सवाल का जवाब कोई panelists देंगे. मतलब now it would be a semi-panel discussion for the questions asked to the panelists. There are few questions which we would like to ask from my side and from the audience as well. Just give me a second for that. Okay. First of all, there are few questions for Chauhan madam, Deepika madam. Can we have an answer from you first? There are some questions for government first. Yes? Okay. So we'll start with the first question. Whether government is planning any package for industry and any measures for job loss?
This is the decision taken by the Commerce Department of the country. So as a food safety department, right now we cannot answer this question that government is going to launch any package for the food industry or for the job loss of the food industry. But definitely when everything is becoming good for all the industries, definitely the food industry will be taken care. I hope so.
Okay. Okay. Second question to you. Are we expecting any SOP for safety and social distancing?
Definitely. Already the guidelines has been declared.
Okay.
And as you see that the safety and social distancing for each and every person, whether it is a factory, whether it is a transporter, whether it is a restaurant owner, whether it is a delivery boy, whether it is like a consumer, for each and every one, the guideline is already been declared, and regularly we are giving the training also to all the people.
Okay.
I have given link to so many. I have so many training partners who are giving training to minimum 25 people a day, and this training is for two hours, and this is completely free training. So each and every person, whether you are a consumer, whether you are a food delivery boy, whether you are a restaurant owner, whether you are a factory owner, whether you are a transporter, whether you are a storage person, everyone can be trained in very detail, and it's free of cost. So FSSAI and Gujarat is taking very much care for this.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. From where we can find that? Do we have a specific website on which we can log in and know the training schedule?
No. Right now we are doing like webinar only, and through Zoom and through other WebEx and other applications. But I will definitely give the details. I'm trying to reach to all the people, the restaurant owners. I'm trying to reach to this association leaders.
Yes.
To join the webinar. And till now, within 6 days, more than 300 people have already taken the training, and we are ready to give n number of people the training.
Great. Great, ma'am. Great to hear this. Third question to you. Can person get food and drug approval in this COVID pandemic?
Yeah. So for this pandemic, once you get the training, you will definitely get the certificate. First thing. So the two things are very important for the food industry: is following the guidelines is very important, and getting certified is again very important. If you are following each and everything and not certified, then will be questioned again. If you are certified only but not exactly following what it is told, again that will be a question for you, and that will be the panic situation for the business owner. So the three things are very important. The hygiene rating system, everybody must follow. The post COVID training, everybody must get, and to get it certified. So that will give you the confidence that whatever you are doing is doing right.
Thank you so much for all your inputs.
Fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jill.
Yes, yes. And thank you for being with us for the whole webinar to answer our questions. Thank you. Mr. Shaival, this is for you.
Yes.
One request by Jitendra Singh Rawat to launch contact lens concept to reduce the layers of other intermediary. It will be a great help to industry as per his views.
So yes,
What do you think about it?
fair. I mean, see, there are going to be always a lot of B2C players, which are there. Like I talked about, Zomato, Google Pay, Paytm, all these guys. While we are tying up with them for contactless ordering, we are also coming up with our own solution. It'll be essentially your branded, the brand's own place your order, complete the payment, and get the invoice. So we are actually coming up with this as our own solution as well. If you don't want to work with any of the other third-party consumer apps.
Okay, that's great. Actually, many of the people have commented that they are literally fed up with the commissions the intermediaries take, right? So, yes, Petpooja.
No, I mean, I understand. See, it's they have just been going. The commissions have just been on the rise. Even once we had seen the impact of COVID, that aggregators went and tried to increase commissions. It is surprising how at levels of 25% still no one is happy. Except now discounts are also, consumers are not happy. Aggregators are still not making money, and restaurants are not happy because their margins are reduced to nothing. So it's really funny how a situation has come up where no one is happy today. You know, if the aggregators are making money, that would make sense. Even they're not making money. So yeah, I mean, the system has to evolve. We also understand that, you know, you cannot go and deliver a 30 rupee item 5 kilometers out without a delivery cost. It makes no economic sense, does not make a sense because of carbon footprint. It just makes no sense. So yes.
Yes, true. Anyone has to add up something on this, what Mr. Shaival said, and to the question? Okay. Okay, so basically this about intermediaries, they were literally suggesting you to start one. So Petpooja can think about this option.
Sure.
And yes, Naman Agarwal asked how cloud kitchens can save this restaurant industry.
Is this for me?
Yes, any of the
Okay,
panelists.
so
Any of the panelists.
I mean, right now, I think that's going to be the need of the hour, right? With dine-in operations, I don't think rents are going to be feasible with a third occupancy at 1/3. So at the same time, I don't believe cloud kitchens are going to save the industry because of, like we talked about, the aggregator commissions leave very little to the bottom line. So it's going to be a little painful unless and until you can establish your own channels of ordering. So I mean, it's easier said than done. I'll give you that, because Fasos, Rebel Foods also had to list on Swiggy and Zomato to get the order volume. But at the same time, based, I think your own website is the way to go, because I mean, with aggregators, you don't have that consistency and so yeah.
Okay. Yes. Great. Mr. Punjabi, do you have any thought for this?
I guess that was a question which would have gone to us as well. So I have a couple of suggestions on that. Well, if you talk about this cloud things, right now the market is going to be such as Mr. Shaival also pointed. Every second person is going to go for a cloud. cloud kitchen, moving across their big stores, because huge rentals are going to take a huge hit. And if you'll see in the next 2-3 months, 50% of restaurants are going to close down, because all those huge lounges, restaurants, dine-in and all, when people are not going to come in to sustain for 2-3 months, it's going to be a pain. And landlords all over India are not reducing rentals, and there's no special subsidy being given to by the government to the hoteliers and restaurants that something can be done, or maybe a message to the landlords to waive off certain rentals, like it has been done in a couple of countries as well.
Yeah.
So it is going to move across. Cloud kitchens are going to come in. They were already there. I am sure 25% of people operate through cloud kitchen. But as told, lots of migrants have gone away. Usually in restaurant industry, your major players are from UP and Bengal. And because of this migrants going away, lots of people have gone away. The costs do cut down. Of course, your rentals will be very less, because you can have your cloud kitchens on 4th floor, on 5th floor, on 10th floor, anywhere at all. So the rentals will be low. But, paying across these 25 to 30% commissions does not help them at all, and neither of them are making too much of money at all. So the best way to move forward is to have your own website, to have your own online ordering, and to get your way forward. And rather than cutting off and giving away 25 to 30% commissions to Zomato and all, give up 15% to customers and make them happy and develop your database.
Exactly.
That's how you have to do.
I would like to add something with what Mr. Punjabi said. I agree that we should have our own cloud kitchens, but don't you think that you are still hello?
Yes.
Yeah, don't you think we will be still be reliable and dependent on platforms like Swiggy, Zomato, Denzo for deliveries, since they have all the data of the customers, and obviously some people also land to their page knowing that all the restaurant will be listed on one page, and they'll have something to offer every time, something attractive. So ultimately, for new brands who will have their own cloud kitchens, for them and for their survival, they'll be still dependent on Swiggy and Zomato and platforms like that.
I will tell you what people have done. I am in lots of restaurant groups. I hold a couple of positions in a couple of restaurant groups across India. So what people are coming through, seeing what Middle East has done, seeing what Europe has done to cut off these aggregators, commission and all. What they are doing is around 20-25 restaurateurs are making their own delivery.
Okay.
Delivery partners. What we are doing is we are having cutting off cost and having around 10 delivery persons between us. What will that do is, first of all, that will avoid the extra salaries to be given individually, as you rightly pointed out, that those small providers, those new cloud kitchen guys who open up straight away, they wouldn't have too much of revenue, they wouldn't have too much of expense to be given away. So to club some new ones and old ones together and have some common delivery drivers together, that is how this Dunzo Air also started, which went away very big at all. So, that is what the talk of the market is right now, that club your restaurants together, have some common deliveries, or if you are a settled player, have your own deliveries and try to cut off costs. Slowly, it has to come to normal. Yeah, of course, you'll have to divide your business. 50% will still come from Swiggy and Zomato. As you told, the data is with them, your brand name is with them, and you will be registered with them till the point you settle down. So it has to be, divided 50-50%, but your 50% of your own delivery needs to slowly increase by giving away promotions. Even though you pass on your deliveries through Zomato or Swiggy, put up your catalogs, put up your brochures that register on our website, get a freebie, get 10%, 15% off, start developing your database. These are the things that you need to do to cut off that cost. And that is how lots of people across Bangalore, Delhi and Mumbai, what I have seen in the restaurant group, are initiating. And Ahmedabad Restaurant Association is also planning such sort of a thing. I think so it will be up and running in the next month or so. So this is how we are planning.
So I'd also want to add something over here. I think the last NRAI town hall also discussed something on these lines, wherein the restaurateurs were saying that, we'll create a disintermediated system wherein there'll be delivery players at the back end, and on everyone can take ordering from their own websites. And Neeraj, I think if you look at the aggregation part, for larger brands specifically, they're going to a Haldiram, or they're going to a chocolate room. It's that they want to have that particular product a lot of the times. Sure, there are people who will end up ordering Haldirams because they wanted a particular item, but a large majority will probably want Haldirams itself. which is where, I mean, you can avoid giving those commissions. And if you look at it, I mean, this is my personal thought. I mean, it does not reflect the company's thought process, but these are a more of a 7% plus delivery charge kind of businesses, which is what it should settle towards. These are marketplace businesses. Yeah, 30% is something that you don't even make in manufacturing. So aggregation cannot have these kind of margins. Same goes for Uber and Ola. Same goes for Zomato. All the marketplace models cannot have 30% take rates. And still, I mean, especially with the discounts are completely off on Zomato and Swiggy right now, right? So I also think that there's a large space for smaller regional players to come in, because these brands don't need to be national brands specifically. So I could have a separate company operating in Ahmedabad and another separate one in Bangalore and another one in Mumbai, because it's not that I sitting in Ahmedabad, I don't need the app from Bangalore, right? There could be a smaller company which could be providing to me. And the other thing is that there isn't much in terms of technology. A Swiggy or a Zomato app is available on rental for $40 a month. There is no rocket science behind it. So I think this disintermediation. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please go ahead. I'll continue.
So I think this essentially, I was ending it. I think this disintermediate. I mean, the reliance on these aggregators will not stop, but smaller niche players might come up. Right, regional players might start coming up, and at the other end, restaurateurs might start promoting their own websites as well.
Okay, just adding to that, it's my personal experience that since we have also opened few cloud kitchens in say Pune and Hyderabad outside Nagpur. So what my experience is also is that if you see food aggregators like Domino's, who has been into this business since very long, and they are the ones who actually started with online food delivery.
Yes.
Even they have listed themselves on Swiggy and Zomato, knowing the fact that people want to go and open one app where they can find everything. When even we as a customer, we want to order something online, and if it is not food item, you go to either Flipkart or Amazon, and you
Correct.
don't have much more apps in your mobile. So people
Correct.
basically don't want to download lot of apps for one particular thing. Like say if it's food, they don't want to have say 5 to 6 apps just for ordering food and then juggle between them. They want, if you're ordering from Swiggy, most probably 90% of the time you'll order only from Swiggy. You won't even care downloading Zomato for that fact.
Sure.
So my only concern is that even if you should, and it is the right way to do to save some cost, but I don't see the convenience towards customer why they would download your app just to order your food or say 10 restaurants. They would
Fair.
always prefer where they can find say all the possible restaurants in your city in that one app.
Fair. So it has to. I am like you are saying. I do believe aggregation will be there. Individual restaurants don't have. We shouldn't have apps. Web-based ordering is sufficient enough. I think web apps have progressed to a stage where that technology is seamless. At the same time, having said that, I think aggregation is going to be there. I'm not saying aggregation is not going to be there. What I'm saying is aggregation with these kind of commissions is something that is not workable, right? So I mean, aggregators will pop up, and this the shift has to be a concerted effort, wherein together restaurateurs say no, this is not something that is feasible for us, and we'll shift to something with a lower commission and a higher fixed delivery fee. Because these guys started with higher delivery percentages because people weren't ready to pay delivery charges 5 years back, and today you're seeing packaging charges, delivery charges, and convenience charges, so people are paying. So provided that the real delivery cost is borne, maybe split by the consumer and the merchant, and a 5-7% kind of take rate that is sustainable, that kind of model has to come up. And you are right in the sense that I'm not going to download 5 apps. I'm just, if I have a Swiggy Super, I'm probably going to keep using that. But if say I want to order from Haldirams or Chocolate Room, and they're not listed on the aggregators, that day there is a possibility that the guy might download another aggregator's app who has these guys. But so that's what I'm saying, is that these guys in at least a locality have to move together. You can't say the new place person, a new aggregator cannot start without the support of these restaurants. Yeah, fair. See.
Yes, yes. Great discussion so that people can get insights from this discussion only. Now, my question to Mr. Mathur. This is a question from Meet Padiyar. He has asked that what to do if customer asks for the tasting of the product. मतलब ice cream अगर कोई चखने के लिए बोले तो क्या? What can be the answer, and should we deny them? This is his question.
No, we should not, and we need to take all proper precautions. The spoons should be properly sanitized. The person on the counter, he himself will take out the ice cream with the spoon from the counter and will give to consumer, and then the spoon will be disposed of in proper conditions. It's normal practice, and we are following it till now.
Right.
Also.
Right.
Wherever we have opened the parlors, and in some part of the country, in some part of the country like Bangalore and all, we are able to operate our parlors, and the practice is being followed. With all precautions, we are offering tasting of our ice cream to consumers.
Yes, great. So the same practice has been followed, but with precautions. So this is what we should do. Yes, true. Mr. Neeraj, this is a question from someone. What would we do to promote packed food after COVID-19, like chips and namkeen? Whether Haldiram is planning probiotic-based products or any food that will increase immunity, like high fiber food, high protein food, low fat, etc. So about the new product development.
Yeah, good you asked this question, because during this duration of lockdown and this time, we actually gave a lot of thought and we did a lot of R&D, and we are planning to come up with a lot of products which will boost immunity in our customers. And we are working on Tetra packs and milk-based products which will have turmeric and ginger, tulsi, and those essential, Ayurvedic products, which will blend into a very tasty and yet very immune effective drinks, which we want to offer to our customers later on once it's ready. Like, it's still in process, and I think hopefully in a month or two we'll be ready with something which can benefit our customers with the immunity.
Great. So I think people in the food industry should think about the new products, which increase the immunity of the customer. So customer can also be rest assured that brand is doing something for us to increase immunity. So that's a good idea. Very nice. Mr. Vikas Punjabi, there is a question for you. What do you think about menu costing now? To survive with the previous prices would also become difficult, don't you think? With lesser customers and higher operating costs, what is going to be future of frozen food post-COVID era? Like, should local players also consider the option to reduce labor cost over a long period of time?
Well, I guess, see, in the food and restaurant industry, why the labor cost is more? Because we provide services to and we give service to the customer. Now, when there is a sitting of around 25 to 50 plus, you have to have around 4 to 5 servers there. Now, with this COVID, post-COVID, now everything is majorly going to be electronic, because menu books are going to be out. I guess that is what I feel for the next year, till the point everything wipes off. It's only going to be QR code ordering and, either the voice thing, what Mr. Shaival told at this panel here. So that is how it is going to be. So the labor cost is going to cut down drastically, because if you don't have servers, it's all going to be everywhere, self-service, except those famous dine-in restaurants where there can be one server who can take orders through iPad when a customer places order through QR code. But in cafes now, I think so the culture will change and will move across to a self-service thing only. When customers can place an order, the order comes into the point of sale and we get it delivered to them. And to cut off this also, what we are doing is we have planned to use single-use crockery. So we wouldn't be using crockeries at all. We'll be serving it in takeaway to reduce the contamination issues and anything at all. So anything that the customer uses, that goes away straight away into the bin. So the crockeries will be out from our stores for some time when we open up dine-in. It's only going to be takeaway. And yes, for all that, once this takeaway things go on, service issues go away, your labor cost drastically goes down. And as you rightly spoke about the frozen food thing and all, we as a company will be slowly planning to develop our own, packaged hot chocolate bottles, packaged shake bottles and all that, because this is where the movement is about to happen, and this is where the industry is going to go around for some time. So that's our plan.
Great, great. So, with this, there is a question from Komal Bed that if we are going so technology driven and everything will be tech driven, what would be the impact on loss of employment? So, how will you address that? Any of the panelists and you also, sir?
It is the loss of employment is going to be huge. You feel very bad when you see migrants going down, not having food properly, taking time reaching their home and all. But now we are also into business, now manage this business where the costs have to be cut off, where we have come into some sort of a pandemic there, wherein we don't have any extra revenue coming in from all other sources. We have to cut off all other costs and all. So, such all things will lead to loss of employment for sure, where everything is going to be technology. But this is not for lifetime. This is going to be some time. Lots of people have gone already to their villages. Government has promised them lots of opportunities in their villages for farming and couple of other things. Lots of employees from our institution, from every institution have gone across. So they won't be allowed to transport to another state as well for the time till the point this pandemic goes away. So they will be finding something there. We as a community would be helping them by giving away something like we have done to the government by giving away free meals and doing all that. But if we talk about business and all, it's part of the thing. We also have to cut down our cost, and we have to make sure that employment will be lost, the jobs will be lost, but to make sure to give them something for their ration and other expenses, to go across, so they don't go out of cash flow straight away. So as a humanity, you got to help them a bit. But this is a thing which is going to happen. Loss of employment is worldwide, not only for India, everywhere, and we have to be around with it for some time.
Also, I'd like to add something. So, not to sound tone deaf, but this question, if you talk about robotics, I think that's going to be a larger displacer of employment, right? So this has happened at every point where there's been a huge technological shift. So right from the Industrial Revolution, which is when people started resisting mechanization, saying we will lose our jobs, right? We as a species have always, history has shown us that people, sure, there's short-term pain, no doubt about it, right? But over the years, people reskill themselves and move up the value chain. So as a society, we will prosper that way. There will be short-term upheavals, but in the longer run, we will all benefit, right? So tomorrow, if agriculture becomes, mechanized, farmers can relax. They could sit, just operate machines, and that is a better quality of life, relaxing. But yes, there will be a shorter term pain of unemployment, and that's how society is going to progress.
Yes, that's true. So it is for a short time we are facing this. I think for a longer run, everyone will find their own ways to be employed and to be prosperous. So now my question to with Mr. Vijay Gupta. सर एक क्वेश्चन आया है कि हाइजीन जैसे तवे में भाजी इज वेरी famous. So how hygiene will be maintained in bhaji pav made on tawa? How vegetable will be sanitized and how bhaji will be served? As we all food industrialists work with labor. This is a question from one of the participants.
इसके लिए जो भी गवर्नमेंट का गाइडलाइंस है, जो भी टेक्नोलॉजी है, गाइडलाइन है, उसका यूज करना पड़ेगा और उसको फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. काम तो चलना ही है क्योंकि हम अभी मिडिल स्टेज में है, लेकिन दुनिया में जहाँ में काम चालू हो गया है, रेस्टोरेंट्स चालू हो गए, और वो धीरे 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 हर जगह पे नॉर्मल सिचुएशन पे जा रहे हैं. लोग का गैदरिंग भी हो रहा है और हाँ, सैनिटाइजेशन है, सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग है, ये वगैरह तो मेंटेन करना ही पड़ता है. बाकी धीरे 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 रूटीन अप होता जा रहा है सभी जगह पे.
Yes, so precautions and guidelines to follow.
May I add into something?
Yes, please, ma'am.
एक्चुअली द FSSAI विजय गुप्ता जी ने बोला कि गवर्नमेंट का गाइडलाइन जो भी है हम फॉलो करें, बट ये जो भी है वो ऐसे ही नहीं है, इसमें काफी डिटेल्स दिया गया है. Say vegetables, if you wash the vegetables with the chlorine solution, 50 ppm chlorine or equivalent solution, that will clean your vegetables. Then if you follow all the, like our food is either very hot or very cold, right? We never store the food at 37 degree or 32 degree where all the bacteria and viruses are going to grow. So this way, if you follow the right kind of guidelines and right kind of procedure, without changing your test or without doing any damage to the test, which is the main the core strength of the food industry, and even with the help of the careers or even with the help of the people, if you use the sanitization guideline or if you use the proper hygienic conditions and with the proper certification and with the proper training, शुरू में ये थोड़ा ऐसा लगेगा, odd लगेगा, but if you know when I'm listening to this the most advanced technology from Vikas sir and this person from this Petpooja, I forgot your name, but so if on one side I'm really happy that the technology the food industry has adopted at the last level, very advanced level. So for the floor level also we can definitely take the situation up, and without affecting the employment also, we can train the people and we can have our business at a very good level, and definitely we will survive it. And the government is also with you, and the industry is with the government and with the people. So we will have a really good results.
Yes, so true. So guidelines, if followed properly, we can really survive easily. Yes, true. It's a general question to any of the panelists or madam. I think it would be for the panelists basically. Life shelf of food is less than life of virus life. So anything can be done to increase shelf life of food. This is a question from one of the participants. If someone of you can please address.
Yeah, I'll speak a little about it. So basically, we have few technology with us right now, which we have been using for a very long time, and which has been there in this industry for a very long time. Those two technology would be one is retort, that is ready to eat technology, wherein we pack the food which has a very good shelf life of say 2 years or at least 1.5 years, where obviously there is no bacteria because it is treated under very high temperature and it is given the temperature shock which kills all the bacteria in the food. The second technology is the frozen food technology, wherein again you store the food by keeping the food under minus 20 degrees, which again gives a minimum shelf life of 2 years. So I think these two technologies are there wherein you can store the food which are perfectly to consume and which taste really good.
Right.
And
I can.
we have both these products available in the market, and there are many other brands which do sell these products. So yeah, I think we already have the answer to this.
Okay, I can also add into this, and
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, we have lots of factories in Gujarat itself, and you just name the product. Say khichdi. Have you known that khichdi can be stored for 6 months or more? Pav bhaji, karela sabji, handwo, any food you name, or paratha, any food you name can be stored at ambient temperature for more than 6 months to up to the 2 years, and that is the best part of the technology. So in this era of this COVID-19, we can definitely use this technology. We can definitely produce our product in a hygienic conditions, in a sterilized conditions. We can pack it in a sterilized condition, and this extrusion technology, retort technology, and sterilization technology are very effective and very helpful. Right now, this market is specially for this export. Most of the manufacturers, I know them, they are exporting their products, but definitely within a time, it will come to the Indian market.
Yes, and there's just to add, there's another technology that we are also working on and which is doing really well is the dehydration technology, wherein
Yes,
you take out
definitely.
all the moisture and it gives a shelf life of more than 3 to 4 years, which are basically used more in military nowadays and slowly and gradually coming into our retail channel. So I think there's a lot of technology around us which is going to help us in long-term storage of food and availability of food.
I would like to add here, especially for this pandemic. See, in food industry, whenever some processing is done, the processing is done to make your food safe, either heating or freezing or dehydration. What we have implemented in Havmor right now in this pandemic situation is, though different processings are done, but then also there are and all precautions are being observed, but then also there are some slight chances that the packet may get contaminated. So what we have done is we have created one UV chamber. All the products, before they go to the cold room, they are passed through this UV chamber. So to make it 100% sure that the packet, though the products inside are safe by different processing, the packet outside are also safe by passing them through UV light chamber.
Definitely, definitely.
And we
Amazing.
definitely have secondary packaging for all these products, wherein the secondary packaging can be discarded, and we have a prime packaging which is safe to use.
True, true, true. So layers of packaging is important to be aware and to have safety in the product. About export, Neeraj Agarwal, how can we export and any certification from Ayush Ministry be needed for this?
We have already been exporting to around 80 countries for very long, and now we are still doing so since the lot of operations and lot of logistics have resumed.
Awesome.
And we are taking every precaution from FDI and all other like halal certificate, FDA certificate, and BRC certificate. We have all the certifications required for these exports. So I think the export we have to also focus and increase the exports, since we have to make sure that we are available outside as well as we are there for our country. So that's how we have to become vocal, and we have to make sure that we are a multinational company in terms of exporting to multiple countries.
Yes, true. Being vocal for local is very important. Ma'am, anything to add on this about the certification for export after COVID? Okay, okay, done. Another question, how would the QSR model work where payment is accepted and receipt is handed over to the customer before serving food?
I think for this we have already, we are already in touch with a lot of aggregators who supply you the app wherein customers, when comes to a restaurant, can directly sit uh, and they'll be given an app or an iPad where they can place their order and they'll be serviced to their table.
Right. Anything to add on, Mr. Shaival?
No, I think like he said, I mean, aggregators as well as, a lot of more newer phones today have QR code scanners built in. So you can just scan the QR code and complete the entire process, including payment. And then the order KOT gets printed in the kitchen and someone can bring it up to the table.
Yeah, and even you can do it with your own phone, so that you don't have a common
Yeah.
iPad where a lot of people are touching it. So you just do it with your own phone and just place the order by just sitting over there.
Exactly.
Great, done. Ma'am, there is a question for FSS AI training, that how to
Yes.
get enrolled in that training. You said that there are webinars, but to
Yes.
inform them how the information is getting passed to the restaurant owners.
I'm sending this information to lots of leaders of this restaurant owners. Say Narendra Somani, then Dilip Thakkar, then Darshan Rawal and all. And I'll
Right.
send a few links to you also. So you, since today you have a very good reach, So you can send lots of to it lots of people. And daily we are doing 3 trainings, and definitely will take up more and more for more and more days, so that everybody is trained and everybody is certified.
Sure, sure. Ma'am, please send me the link. So what I'll do is whoever participant registered, I'll SMS them the link so that they can get
Definitely.
the schedule.
And we can put it on a bigger platform like Facebook and Insta also,
Yes.
so that more people can register.
Yes. Right.
I would like to add that more and more training partners like Jubilant Pharma and Fasato and lots of training partners are coming forward and asking me to, they want to give the training to the different trade people in the food industry.
Great. Okay, ma'am. Mr. Nitesh Mathur, is because due to this cold and cough, ice cream somewhere like ice cream खाना नहीं है अभी, ये सारी mentality थोड़ी बहुत ज़्यादा आ रही है सब में. So would you like to add upon that how does this scenario go? मतलब ice cream के लिए basically.
It's big no that ice cream and COVID or cold drinks and COVID has any relation. In fact, in the beginning in the beginning of the spread of COVID in India, this kind of myth or misconception was circulating on social media, and ice cream industry had big dent on the business because of this misconception. Then industry as a whole, through our ice cream association, we contacted WHO. They responded. They made it very clear that there is no evidence that ice cream or any cold drink will spread the COVID. Then we are thankful to FSSAI Delhi and Food Processing Ministry, Government of India. They also endorsed this, and even notifications were issued. Even it went to the extent that the local authorities, the police wala and all on duty, they were stopping the trucks of ice cream because they had the WhatsApp that ice cream khane se COVID ho jata hai. So they stopped our trucks also. But then with the intervention of Government of India, different circulars were issued, and now it is very clear. And couple of days back, Mr. Koshia himself from his office, under his signature, they have published one guidelines which very clearly says only for ice creams. There's ice cream and COVID spread. There is no relation. In fact, I will like to add here the ice creams which are made out of milk. It has good component of milk and milk powder into it, and we all know. In these days through different sources that milk is very good immunity booster for human being, and the milk proteins, they are very important, and ice cream has good component of milk proteins into it. So ice cream is a wholesome food, and even in this lockdown time when we are more health cautious, ice cream is nutritious food. It contains not only milk and milk products but some nuts, some fruits. So I strongly recommend that we should not avoid. In fact, in this era, we must eat ice cream so that we can prevent ourselves from different kind of diseases. It will give good nutrition. It will boost immunity. That's all from my side.
Superb. So that is just a thought that people are thinking, but that's right that it is really healthy for us. So we should actually eat ice cream, not avoid it. Thank you so much. And there are few questions for packaging. So I would like to address that about plastic packaging. So I would just like to say that plastic is a miraculous material which can be recycled 1,000 times. No material can be recycled 1,000 times. So it is on us to recycle it, to reuse it, and to throw it in a proper manner. That plastic that people don't say that plastic is bad. Actually, plastic can be recycled. So it is a very miraculous material which we also should understood, but it should be disposed properly. For this, we also come because that question was about plastic. I would like to say that we have also launched compostable products which is made from corn starch. So it can be degraded in the environment within 6 months. But because of this COVID, I would not like to say that it is economic. It is not economical option, as it is little more expensive than the normal plastic. So we are also planning to give our customers the best costing. We are planning that we should give the best costing so that they can deliver the food with good packaging, with best packaging. So this was the question I wanted to address. So thank you. Such an amazing session to learn from all of you. The participants in the webinar, a special thank you to you for putting that trust and confidence on the webinar organized by Arihant Pack Plast. Herewith, I would also like to mention that this webinar is specifically organized with the purpose of providing the insights and the new change going to be there in the food industry. All clients of Arihant Pack Plast present in the webinar, thank you for being with us today, as you all were the major reason for this webinar, as Arihant Pack Plast really wanted to give something to the clients. Panelists, you all are such an amazing leaders. Ma'am, thank you for being with us.
Zeel, I have sent you the link for the training.
Great, ma'am. Thank you
Check
so much.
your mobile, please.
So
Yeah,
rapid
okay. Bye.
response. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
In this lockdown, you have not just understood the change, you have already implemented the change, which is going to be the trend for the coming years. So leaders, we are really looking forward for your strategies, and we admire your leadership a lot. And I'm sure there are many in the webinar who are also the leaders and who have also accepted this change and started implementing. So, in and all, I believe that by helping each other and standing by each other, we will surely achieve our goals and dreams. Let's be vocal for local. My XZ, a super thank you to you for being such a wonderful tech partner. Your team is so excellent that for me, the slogan for my XZ is, "Jab technology ka ho problem, to my XZ is the best solution." Herewith, we would
So
like
nice.
to call an end to this session. Thank you all wonderful panelists for all your knowledgeable insights, and thank you to the wonderful participants for being such an amazing audience. It would never have been possible without your cooperation. Accept the new normal with the same old dreams, energy and enthusiasm, and the normal will never be new. We will also be used to that. Just accept it. Let us all leave with this webinar with the positive thought post-COVID. Life is all about moving on. Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, but believe me, gorgeous in the end. Let's try that with full of positivity and enthusiasm. I am Zeel Shah signing out. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Zeel. So nice, and it is wonderful.
Thank you, Manchu bhai.
Pleasure. And we also thankful to Shaival as well as Neeraj Agarwal and everyone. You have done a wonderful contribution, especially Neeraj ji and Shaival ji. You are the great of your own field. Thank you for supporting Zeel also to make this event most memorable. And I just would like to give you the feedback of the people who were there as a participants, and they were one of the few are the top hoteliers of India. They were also participating. They were also raising the few of the questions, and wonderfully you have given the answers. I must also congratulate you. I also congratulate Deepika ji. She's so quick and wonderful with her quickness. We are appreciating the trust you have put on the Zeel, and I'm thankful to everyone. So nice of you.
Quick and easy registration process to access the nationwide exhibitions and organizers data right from your computer and smartphone. Log in to www.myxz.com. Registration free for a limited time period.